Hi there, Andrew Weiler here. I've posted a few clips in the past few weeks about the importance of listening as a way of improving your learning of a language, English or otherwise. And I've talked extensively about why listening is so important. So today, what I want to do is go a step further and actually drill down into that a little bit and talk about one of the aspects of it, namely listening to yourself. So this is one area that, in fact, very little attention is paid to. Little attention is paid to listening, but virtually no attention is paid to actually listening to yourself. Listening to yourself is just so important, and I could sort of talk a lot about it, but rather than do that, I'll give you an example from basically our own lives, in our first language. So I'll just lay out a scenario for you to listen to, and you can reach your own conclusions about that. So let's say, for example, that you want to, you're talking to a friend, and you want to tell them something, but you want to make sure that you don't actually express any concern, even though internally you're really concerned about what you're going to talk about, but externally you want to convey that really you're not that concerned at all. Anyway, so some similar scenario like that can happen in our lives and in different permutations, and there are many examples I could give, but I've chosen to focus on this one particularly. So anyway, so you explain the scenario to your friend, and your friend turns around and says to you, "Oh, you sound really concerned." So you're taken aback a bit really, because you actually wanted to convey the fact that you're not concerned. And so you're sort of talking and you're sort of trying to figure out what happened. So the only way that you'll be able to fix, if you can call that, or next time you do this, you can actually improve how you convey this sort of nonchalant, non-caring attitude, let's say, is by listening to yourself. The only way we can improve our production in our first language is listening to how we project ourselves and finding out what it is in how we speak that has the other person think that we're concerned, for example. So you start paying attention to the speed of maybe that you're speaking, or maybe it's the tone, or maybe it's some inflection in a word, or maybe it's some other factor, that maybe it's a word you've chosen. So it can be a lot of different things that can actually cause you to express concern. But like I said, the only way you can realize what it is that you need to adjust next time is listening to yourself more carefully. So without listening to yourself really carefully, and in areas that maybe before you didn't listen to, or maybe go deeper in the listening, so try and, for example, locate the emotional quality of your voice. So maybe you're going really deep. So that's what you need to do in your first language if you want to improve how you speak. So next time you say, for example, talking about whatever you're talking about, you want to be expressing your concern or some other kind of attitude that you have. So this is very common, I think, in speaking a first language, that we want to improve how we speak in whatever way it may be. I've just given it maybe an extreme example. But the only way we improve, basically, is by listening to ourselves and tweaking that, improving it a little bit, improving it a bit, because we identify, we find out what can be improved, and we then go about and improve it somehow. So the principle that I've just talked to you about is exactly the same when we're learning a new language. In a new language, it's clearly a little bit more complicated and far more extensive. I mean, we're talking about pronunciation, we're talking about vocabulary use, we're talking about structural use, we're talking about so many elements, and within each element there are so many sub-elements. But really, that is what we're talking about. That is what we have to do, is to drill down, to look more carefully, and find out exactly what it is in the way we're saying that is a little bit not measure up to what we want to say, or we find out there's the tone that we're using, we find out the word we've chosen, we find out that the speed we're speaking at is not what we really want, or is not what we hear somebody else say, for argument's sake. So this listening to yourself is something that all of us can do all of the time when we're speaking. But because we haven't been taught, haven't learned how to do this in our adult life, we don't do much of it. So what I've done is a way of helping people to move along here, is created a 30-day listening boot camp. And in this 30-day listening boot camp, I take you through a day at a time, giving you ideas, methods, techniques, ways of working that will help you improve the way you listen. And not only that, is to take what you heard and bring it into your life so you can actually drive your speaking improvement, to make your speaking get better and better day by day. Now, you can do this by yourself, for argument's sake, but it will take you, I suspect, a lot longer, and maybe you wouldn't get to all the bits that I've come to over many, many years of teaching and working with students. So it's up to you. So if you're interested, go on and check out the link below I've put down, or maybe it's above. Not sure where it ends up being on the post. Have a look at the link and you'll get some more information. And if you're interested, sign on up, and happy to see you there. I mean, I've kept the price right on down, basically $1 a day, as a way of helping anybody who's interested to come on board and really improve their language, really improve how they're learning, and to get their speaking as high as it possibly can be, and which can be very high, depending if you keep working at it in the way I'm suggesting. Anyway, that's it from me for now. Hope to see you at the 30-day listening bootcamp. Bye for now.